Hey, pleasant good evening to you from Roseville. Roseville Arena, we have a good matchup for you tonight. The Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders, 9-4. Number 7 ranked in Class AA, taking on the Roseville Raiders. 8-4, both teams nicknamed Raiders, so we'll watch out for that. The Roseville Raiders 8-4 on the season. They have alternated wins and losses in their last 5 games, going 3-2. Cretin-Derham Hall has lost games in clumps. They lost their first 2, and they lost their first 2 games over the holiday tournament as well out of Maple Grove. Goaltenders for Cretin-Derham Hall, Owen Nelson, 2-1. 10 goals on 54 shots, 3.98 goals against average. 81.5 save percentage and no shutouts. For Roseville in goal, it's Dylan Keeley, 3-3. And Keeley on the season, 24 goals on 156 shots. Goals against is 4.24. Save percentage 84.6 and no shutouts. And we're ready to go. Jake Fisher is out there, and he's going to face off against Tommy Malloy, who has been moved up to center since the last time we saw this Roseville team. He's been a mainstay on defense for the last couple of years, but now one of the captains of this team will be taking the opening draw against Jake Fisher. And we're underway. Lucas Cernahouse has it over on the far side for Simon Hogue. Back to Cernahouse, and he plays it to neutral ice. Now the Raiders of Roseville will pick it up and play to the blue line. Cretin-Derham Hall getting possession again, and here's Cernahouse on the right. Into the middle for Fisher. Over the line, Fisher feeds the left. Here's a shot that whizzes wide of the goal from a stick of Chuck Owens. And now Play to the right point. Cernahouse plays it down towards the corner. And players from both teams in. Owens is in there. He looks to center it. It comes loose in front. And it's finally picked up on the wing. And there's a chance in front. And Cernahouse put it wide. Now loose to the boards on the near side. And Roseville trying to find a way out of the zone right now. They lost possession. It's dropped up the slot and picked up by Landon Steffen. And he plays it ahead and then heads for the bench as they change the Steffens, Landon and Luke. 68 points between the two of them already in just 12 games for this Roseville team. And now Cretin-Derham Hall in control in front of their goal. Over the line they come, and this is Attila Lapai cutting for the slot, and it winds up running off to the far boards as he falls. Jacob Villela, number 4, trying to play it, and now it'll run behind the Roseville goal. Centering pass, loose in front, and finally controlled by Roseville. They play to center, and it gets past Jimmy Dodig, number 24, on defense, and a hit thrown behind the goal as the puck winds up out at center ice, where Egan Hyber will take it for Roseville. Goal and 9 assists for 10 points. And now here's Aiden Siegfried over the line for Cretin-Derham Hall. Heads to the slot, and finally it's going to be picked up on the far side, and the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders will set up. Here's a centering pass. It's intercepted. Roseville breaking out, and over the line they come. And this is Jesse Gale, number 6. He's taken in against the boards. Puck runs along the wall. Players from both teams in. And now it's played on out to center where Roseville gains possession. On the near side, Colin Heights playing it ahead. And there's a big hit thrown by Jovan Fowler, number 2, against his opposite number, Trey Ganetz. And he does it again. Fowler with another big stick. A couple of big hits on the defensive end as it's brought into the zone and shot wide of the goal. Now loose in the right corner. And finally played on out to center ice. Cretin-Derham Hall's Luke Charlton backing up, feeding over to the left side. Now it's loose at center and picked up by Cretin-Derham Hall, and they carry out to the near wing. Lapai over the line. Check that, it's Fisher. Now it's a shot from the left point that doesn't get through. Cernahouse feeds the middle, and now it's going to be played out by Roseville down the far wing. They come in, and it's played to Cernahouse in front of the net off the wall. It's picked up there by Max Bennett, number 20. Puck trickles out and now controlled finally by Roseville. They'll come back down the near side. Landon Steffen over the line. He takes a shot and a glove catch made by Nelson. We'll get a face-off. 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the first period of play. A couple of big hits thrown by Jovan Fowler coming off the bench for Roseville. 6 points on the season. And he made his presence felt already, and now we're going to get the face-off on the other side. So they'll move everybody over, and we'll try again. Roseville controls from the face-off, and now it's kicked on out to center ice. Finally, the Raiders of Roseville in control at the blue line, and here they come. Landon Steffen leaving a drop pass. Malloy shooting, and a save made by Nelson, and we get a face-off coming up. This time, we're certain to the right of the Cretin-Derham Hall goal. And it will be Landon Steffen on to take this face-off against Fisher. Steffen won the draw. Puck climbs the boards and bounces in the circle. Fisher takes it, and now will spin around in his zone. Got to make some space for himself. Forchek reaches him, and he now feeds the near side. Picked up there by Swift to Cernahouse at center. And he plays it on in. Olsen chasing after it, but the puck comes back out to center, and Simon Hogue. Banked off the wall. And then golfed on into the zone there by Landon Steffen onto the goaltender. Nelson makes a stop. Here's Swift. In the center circle looking for Fisher. And now it's going to be played on into the Roseville zone. Fisher cutting to the slot, poked off his stick, and now Roseville back through center ice. It's backhanded on into the zone, right onto the goaltender by Kellen O'Rourke, number 27. And now back comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Siegfried over the line. He's stripped of the puck, and it comes into the middle of a line change. Now playing it down the far wing is Colin Scanlon. Then lost it. Back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Dodig, 11 points for him on 2 goals and 9 assists so far. Played into the Roseville zone. And will run behind the net where it's claimed by Riley Lackner, number 13. Now behind the net. They'll try the far side, will Roseville, and it's going to run out to center. Siegfried gives it over to Dodig. Now back to Siegfried on the far side. Back over to Dodig. And a pass up the middle is going to be forced back into the Raiders zone momentarily, but now here's Dodig for Cretin-Derham Hall over the line. Gets to the half wall and finally shoots it around the boards. Going after it there is Scanlon for Cretin-Derham Hall, but the puck is won by his opposite number, I believe. Let's see now. The puck comes in front as Gale poked it off to the boards. And Cretin-Derham Hall in possession. A centering pass is blocked. And at center ice, it's controlled by Trey Ganetz. And here he comes for Cretin-Derham Hall. He comes to the left. He swings past the forward Charlie Cry and now into the zone, and we're going to get a penalty on Roseville. And a trip is going to be called. It will be power play for Cretin-Derham Hall. And the penalty is against Egan Heiber. Time on the penalty, 5:45. Cretin-Derham Hall's power play, 11 for 41. It's 26.8%. Roseville's penalty kill is 32 out of 45. Allowed 13 power play goals, 71%. And the Raiders' power play will get a chance to go to work. Fisher feeding it over to the far side for Cernahouse on the half wall, but it's picked up and clear, but only as far as Fisher. He centers it. Here's Lepai shooting right on. And that, with a pad save there for Keeley, it comes off to the near wall. Round behind it comes. Hogue on the half wall trying to throw it in front. And where is it? It's finally loose to the slot and cleared. Now banked off the board, but only as far as Hogue. He shoots and he hit the crossbar. Solid post there. And the goaltender beat, but put it off the iron. And now here's Fisher looking to center it, and it's going to run past Hogue. Here's a race for it. And into the line, in the zone, a shot and a save made by Nelson as Luke Steffen came down the wing. Luke Steffen has 5 shorthanded goals already for Roseville. I dare say the vast majority of teams don't score 5 in a season, much less have 5 from a single player. Face off to the left of Nelson. And the Raiders are in control. Dodig behind the goal. Halfway through the power play. And he tries to feed the near side for Hogue, who's going to have to come back for it. No, check that. Siegfried. Aiden Siegfried feeding the left. And Olsen will play it on in rink wide. Back in the left corner, Leo Walkler playing it to the blue line. And then it's swept back behind the goal. Chasing after it is Lackner. Now Walkler, into help. Through the high slot, Dodig for Cretin-Derham Hall. 33 seconds in the power play. Gets it back on a return. Now to the near side. They throw it in front. And a shot by Siegfried, and that doesn't get through. Finally cleared back out to center. Dodig with 20 seconds to go, and the penalty will come over the line for Cretin-Derham Hall. He leaves a drop pass. And now played beside the net by Nate Charlton. And we get a whistle. And we're going to get a face-off in the Roseville end. The nets come loose. Ten seconds remaining in the penalty on Heiber, and 9:24 to go in the first period of a scoreless game. Here from Roseville on a January Saturday night. Puck is down, and it's over to the near circle, and there's a shot off by Fisher. That hurt. And now he throws it back in front. I think he caught Steffen on either the knee or the ankle there. And now the penalty's over. Here's a shot right on, and a save made off Fisher as he came in front. Now comes into the circle. Fisher again scores! Jake Fisher after the power play had just expired. And Cretin-Derham Hall has the lead on goal number 16 for Jake Fisher. At 7 minutes and 56 seconds of the first period, Cretin-Derham Hall draws first blood. There's some persistence there. They caught a post, as you heard, on the power play from Hogue. And then Fisher finds the twine. Here's a steal. And a centering pass comes up the slot just before Max Bennett could get to it. Now Roseville will play it in. It'll run behind the net. Gannett sidesteps it, check. Comes out the right side to Bennett. Now he stopped in the middle of the goal announcement, so I'm kind of waiting for that. And Attila Lepai gets the assist. And Cernahouse will get a second assist. So the goal is Fisher from Attila Lepai and Cernahouse. And we'll take it all the way back into the Roseville zone after an icing for a face-off with 8:22 to go in the first period. Roseville on the season, the first and third periods have been the best for them statistically. 20-8 in the first period. They've outscored their opponents. And they've scored 57 goals so far. Of those 57, 33 have come from the Steffens. Now back in the left corner. Fisher on the turn, plays it behind the net. And here comes Dodig. And now Siegfried at center, and his pass hits Fisher in the skate. And Roseville is able to turn it into the center circle, but Hogue carrying on. Now will carry down the left, and he's into the Roseville zone. Hogue shoots, and it's wide of the goal. Comes to the right point, and then batted straight up in the air. It came down in front. Here's a poke at it. And finally Fisher will claim it on the left wall, and Cretin-Derham Hall will try to cycle out of there. Fisher putting it into the middle. And Nate Charlton couldn't get to it. Now Roseville's able to clear to center ice. And over the line they come. Bank pass to the far boards is broken up there in the right circle. And Malloy in against Fisher. Now it comes to the left point. And it's flattened out. Here's a shot. And that is deflected, and a breakaway coming perhaps for Roseville. No, that's some nice hustle. There is a penalty coming, though. As in getting back to stop that play, Hogue got too much stick in there, and good hustle to get back, but he used his stick in a manner that he ought not have. And a hooking penalty has been assessed. Simon Hogue gets his first penalty of the season after 13 games. Time of the penalty is 9 minutes and 58 seconds, and we'll see Roseville's power play for the first time. Roseville on the power play at 21%. That's 10 for 46. And Cretin-Derham Hall has killed off 41 out of 53. It's 77.4. Landon Steffen on for this draw. And now Malloy will move back to the point. Puck down, and Gannett tries to feed it up the wall. Attila Lepai in to help, and now it's back to an open point. And Malloy will have to carry it back into his zone, and he banks it off the wall there for Kellen O'Rourke. And O'Rourke over the line, and he loses out there to Scanlon, but Roseville gets possession in the center circle. And now it's played to the near side, and O'Rourke, he drops it back into his zone. First 30 seconds gone on the power play, and O'Rourke hit by Luke Charlton, but carrying on is Landon Steffen, feeding it over to the right, and here's a shot. Save! Oh, and a rebound for Luke Steffen, and it went off the heel of his stick as he was in perfect position at the right edge of the goal crease. And now it's Colin Heights in control for Roseville. Over the line, full speed, feeds the right. Here's a shot, they score! Landon Steffen! It's a power play goal, and Roseville has tied the game. Landon Steffen's 19th goal of the year. And it comes at 10 minutes and 50 seconds. It is a power play goal. And some nice work there by Roseville. Moments after Luke Steffen had a rebound chance at the edge of the crease, Landon comes in and beats the goaltender over his glove. 6:10 to go in the first period, 1-1. Now here's Fowler. Get the announcement here. All right. Landon Steffen from Heights and Luke Steffen on the power play at 10:50, and in the interim, an incursion into the Cretin-Derham Hall end winds up with a sharp angled shot that is gloved by Owen Nelson. Face off to his right with 5:53 to go in the period. And it's in skates. Trying to dig it out again, and now Steffen had it hop over his stick, and here comes Fisher back. On the left side, here's a shot that whizzes wide of the goal from Easton Swift. His line mates, and now it comes out to neutral ice. He picked up there, and Malloy throws a bump, and Roseville wins the puck. Shot in from center. Now back behind the net. After it is Siegfried for Cretin-Derham Hall, and the Raiders from Roseville try to dig one through there. Now it's loose in the right corner. Dodig is after it, and he is knocked off the puck by Landon Steffen. Puck fed out to center, and Roseville is in control. 5:10 to go in the period, and over the line they come. A little saucer, tried to throw one in front there for Landon Steffen. Didn't work out. And with less than 5 minutes to go, the Raiders from Cretin-Derham Hall have the puck behind their net. Now they feed up the middle, and on the turn, Attila Lepai feeds it over to the left, and they will break the line. Now played back behind the goal, claimed by Prentice Meyer for Roseville. And played up the wall and out to center. Hogue. Cernahouse feeds the right wing, and Colin Scanlon shoots it in, and it comes right back out. Roseville, they try to break diagonally, and O'Rourke is headed off. Now Attila Lepai dropping it back for Hogue. Pass over to Cernahouse on the near side, and from the red line he will carry forward. Played into the Roseville zone to the left. Going back for it is Lackner. And now Meyer helps out and gets the puck up the wall, but only as far as Attila Lepai. Played down behind the net, and Colin Sundin reverses the other way, and Roseville is able to play it down the ice. It will go wide of the goal for an icing call, and we're going to face off at 3:56 to go. Of course, there are two Lepais on the Cretin-Derham Hall team. You haven't seen Zizzy, the younger of the two. Attila is second on the Raiders in scoring with 22 points. And now has 23 after assisting on Fisher's goal. Now it's picked up at center by Max Bennett and played into the Roseville end. Hyber's after it. Now played to neutral ice. And they'll play catch with it there. Now Fowler playing it in down the near wing, and here is Charlie Cray. He then lost out to Holden Somweber, number 22, and now he'll come over the line for Cretin-Derham Hall. Leaves a drop pass. Here's a shot right on, and a save made off Max Bennett, and we'll get a face-off. 3:15 to go in the first period. Face off to the left of Dylan Keeley. And it's controlled by Cretin-Derham Hall, but only briefly, as it bleeds on out to center ice and then is played back in. Landon Steffen leaves it in the left corner. And Roseville will start up. A long pass for Landon Steffen is deflected out of play by Dodig. And we're going to get a face-off outside the Cretin-Derham Hall blue line with 2:57 to go in the first period. And, of course, if you look at the Cretin-Derham Hall bench, you will see the jersey of Cormac Scanlon, number 17. Sophomore forward who very tragically passed away on Christmas Day. And that jersey will remain up there, presumably for the rest of the season, as Cretin-Derham Hall comes in offside. We got a face-off with 2:49 to go in the first period. Now a clean face-off win for Cretin-Derham Hall, and it's Dodig back in his zone. Backhands one ahead, and Fisher will pick it up over the line. Fisher is around behind the net. Then Malloy takes him in against the boards. Behind the goal that comes, a centering pass. Loose scramble. Olsen had a poke at it, and finally it's under the goaltender, Keeley. And we'll get a face-off with 2:29 left. Mentioned that this is a statistically a good period throughout the season. Cretin-Derham Hall has outscored their opponents 15-12 in the first period. Statistically, at least from a goals differential point of view, it's their worst of the three. And comes to the near side now with just over 2:15 to play. Attila Lapayan trying to bring the puck out, and it's now fed to the left point. Hogue is tied up there by Luke Steffen. And finally, it comes on out to center ice. And then played back deep into the Roseville zone. Meyer on the turn, plays it ahead, looking there for Luke Steffen, who was behind the defense. And now Landon coming in, he shoots, and hugging the post is saved by Nelson, and we'll get a face-off in the Raiders zone to his right. 1:52 to go in the first period. The Steffens give Roseville a different dimension. They strong on their skates, both with good speed, and they both know where the net is. From the face-off, it's picked up and then tried to carry in front by Heitz, and then Heitz with a big hit, and he stood up Nate Charlton, but carrying on is Luke Charlton over the line, and now it goes back behind the net. Centering pass, loose in front, cleared to the boards by Cry, and finally out of play. We'll get a face-off with 1:34 to go in the first period. Jake Fisher, 7:56. Landon Steffen is 19th of the year at 10:50. Scoring in this game so far, face off to the right of Dylan Keeley. And it's between the point men and comes back to neutral ice. Luke Charlton over to the far side. Now a pass will come all the way down the ice and will be icing on Cretin-Derham Hall with 1:22 to go in the first period. Lots of other games going on today. Maple Grove continues to roll. They defeated Blaine 10-0 today. Duluth East and Stillwater playing to a 5-5 tie at the St. Croix Rec Center. Been a fun game to watch. Hill Murray over Two Rivers 1-0 today. Now puck played out to center ice, and Roseville in control. On the red line, they'll play it in, but it's too far. Back of their own side of center ice, and it'll be icing. Benilde over Moorhead, 4-1 today in Moorhead. Marshall and Rochester John Marshall play a scoreless tie at the Rochester Rec Center, an increasingly rare thing. Chanhassen, good team they've got over St. Louis Park, 4-0. Andover defeats Osseo 11-2. And now the puck played all the way down the ice again, and we're going to go right back where we started with another icing call, which will give us a chance to give you some more scores. Shakopee over Prior Lake 6-3. That game this afternoon at Shakopee Ice Arena. East Grand over Holy Family 3-2 today. Rogers a winner over Elk River Zimmerman 6-1. You saw them, of course, here on the Youth Hockey Hub at the Tradition Tournament. You saw them go to overtime in all three of their games. There's a shot from the face-off by Hogue and a pad save by Keeley with 1 minute to go. Play behind the Roseville net, banked up the wall, and finally picked up by Luke Steffen, who clears it, and Hogue will come back for it. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Cernahouse on the right. Played ahead to center ice, and then he had his story ended at the front door by Landon Steffen, and the puck comes into the zone. And Roseville has not been shy about using the body here in the first period. I think of Fowler in particular in his first shift as he had everything in a purple shirt that was moving. And we're going to get a face-off outside the Roseville line with 42 seconds to go in the period. Raiders now to the right, and it's picked up there by Siegfried, who will play it in. It rings the boards to the far side. Owens after it, and we're going to get a whistle. Face-off coming outside the blue line. We're down to 34 seconds to go. Roseville has, for the most part, gone stride for stride with this Cretin-Derham Hall team. They may have a few more chances, but we're tied at 1 as Dodig brings it over the line and now plays it down to the corner. Lackner is after it. And now he's got it. Pass is cut off, and closing in, Siegfried left a drop pass, and Malloy flattened his man in the slot. Now a centering pass comes through to the far side, and a relay by Attila Lepai doesn't go with 9 seconds to go in the period. So Cretin-Derham Hall coming close there. Aiden Siegfried will play it, and it winds up behind the net with 2 seconds to go. And that will do it for our first period of play from Roseville. Our score, Cretin-Derham Hall 1, Roseville 1. We'll take a break. Let's get the shots here first. Cretin-Derham Hall at 10, Roseville 8 in the first period. We'll take a break and flood the ice and come back with second period next here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Back at Aldrich. I was at Aldrich this afternoon. We're in Roseville at Roseville Arena. I called the War Road Hill Murray girls game this afternoon at Aldrich. 3-3 tie. Two top 10 ranked teams. Here it's 1-1 between Cretin-Derham Hall, number 7 in Class AA, and Roseville. With a record of 8-4. Jake Fisher scoring for Cretin-Derham Hall. Landon Steffen on a power play for Roseville, and that is where we stand after one period of play. Now it'll be teams attacking towards their benches here in the. Well, we're going to have a moment of silence here.
We'd like to take a moment of silence now before we start this second period to remember Nick Scanlon. Thank you.
An impeccably observed moment of silence as we get ready for the start of the second period. And as we mentioned, the jersey, Cormac Scanlon hanging behind the Cretin bench. And we are underway here in period number 2. 1-1 the score. And it's picked up there by Landon Steffen. Finally, Heights back to Landon Steffen. Now a pass to the right, and over the line comes Malloy. He takes a shot, was up off the glass. Landon Steffen is knocked hard in against the boards by Fisher. Now it's going to be picked up and carried out. And here comes Cretin-Derham Hall over the line, and this is Fisher. He takes the shot, save made, rebound is shot wide by Owens. Now behind the net, Fisher goes to the goal line extended, throws it in front, and it's picked off. Here comes Luke Steffen back for Roseville, and he will play it on in. Go back after it now as Roseville finishing up a change here. Landon Steffen in the corner, lost out to Fisher. And then he plays it back up the wall, now held in by Malloy, who puts it behind the net. Centering pass deflected and comes to the left side. Now Cretin-Derham Hall to center ice, and here they come. There's Fisher over the line. He takes the shot right on, and a save made by Dylan Keeley. We'll get a face-off in the Roseville zone. 1:03 gone in the second period. Jeff Papis, my name. Glad to have you along as we play a game tonight. It's interesting that if you look at the standings now in the Suburban East, Roseville has 4 losses, but 2 of them are in conference. They're 0-2 in the conference, which puts them in 8th place. Cretin-Derham Hall 4-0 in the conference. Their trouble is coming out of conference. So Cretin-Derham Hall leads the Suburban East. Actually, they're tied with White Bear Lake, but Cretin-Derham Hall with a game in hand. They're playing right now. Face-off coming up in the Roseville zone. To the right of Keeley, and Scanlon feeds to the left point. Dodig back to Scanlon. Up the slot, shoots, deflected in front. And now played over to the left side by Lackner. And now played down with a glove by Villela, and he comes into the zone. On the far side, looks to center, and that's intercepted. Played by Nate Charlton down the wing. And here comes Cretin-Derham Hall with speed over the line and tied up neatly there. Prentice Meyer with a nice play. And the puck comes out. And here comes Roseville back. Sundin, he takes a shot, and a glove catch made by Nelson, and we'll get a face-off in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Face-off coming to the left of the goal in the attacking zone as Roseville looks at it. Jesse Gale on for the draw for them. Minute 35 gone in the second period. And now it's banked all the way back down the ice. Gets past Hyber, and then the icing is called. Centerman dismissed, and now we'll try again as Cry comes over to take it for Roseville. Puck cleared around on the far side, and Cretin-Derham Hall will play it into the zone. Centering pass, and it goes off the heel of the stick of Max Bennett, loose in front, and the goaltender over to make a stop on Somweber. Turns, throws it back in front, and it's underneath Keeley. It's good goaltending there by Dylan Keeley. He kept his pad against the right post and stopped Somweber the first time, and then held his ground to stop him a second time. Face-off coming to the left of the Roseville goal. Charlie Cantwell on against Malloy, and Cantwell won the draw. Here's a shot that's deflected off the traffic. Cantwell goes to the corner, goes to the half wall, now feeds it down. And here's Bennett. Somweber behind the goal, comes out the left side, tried to center, nothing doing. And it's loose in the circle. Cantwell is after it. He's taken out by Landon Steffen against the boards. And now it's played to the circle. Malloy with a swipe at it, but can't clear it. Now a shot deflected over the top. Comes to the near side, and Hogue the half wall plays it around behind the net. There's Cantwell in the corner. Now Somweber comes in and just takes it. Goes behind the net. Holden Somweber banks it off the boards to the left point. Hogue over to the right. And a shot, and that goes wide of the net. Hogue again crashing. Centers that it's the outside of the goal. Picked up finally by Riley Lackner, and he plays it off the boards and all the way back into the Raiders zone. And no icing there. Winds up in the right corner. And Cretin-Derham Hall plays the puck to center ice. And that's Fisher. Over the line, takes a shot, and for once he didn't make solid contact with it. He does get it there in a hurry. Cleared around on the near side. And Dote again on the hash marks to try to hold it. Now comes back to the near side corner. And played ahead out to center ice. And it's controlled there by Siegfried, playing over to the right side. Now controlled by Heitz. And then he lost out. Fisher back over the line. Leaves a drop pass. Here's a shot by Olsen, and he buzzed one wide. Or Owens, rather, excuse me. Now Fisher. Owens cuts for the front of the net. Fisher goes back behind. Now into the circle. Here's a shot by Dodig that doesn't get through. And then he manages to block the outlet attempt by Kellen O'Rourke. And now Roseville just looking to get a puck out of the zone so they can get a stoppage as Dodig comes in and takes a shot. There's their stoppage as the puck climbed the stick of Egan Hyber and went over the glass and out of play. And a face-off with 13:10 left in the second period. Blake has defeated Southwest Christian 6-1. Thief River Falls over Northern Lakes 5-2. Simley over South St. Paul 5-2. Here's a shot from the face-off by Nate Charlton, blocked. Now runs up the slot, and a follow-up attempt there by Luke Charlton. The penalty coming here on Cretin-Derham Hall as Scanlon is going to get the gate for a holding infraction, and it's going to put Roseville on the power play. Colin Scanlon. Time of the penalty is going to be 4 minutes and 4 seconds. And it will put Roseville on the power play for the second time. They scored on their first one. And a chance for them to get their noses in front here. And they pull the face off right between the point men, and they have to start at neutral ice. Now a pass over to the left, and a little disorganization here as it's picked up by Attila Lepai for Cretin-Derham Hall, and then he will go back into his zone and rag the puck. Now played to center, and Cretin-Derham Hall will carry over the line. Attila Lepai then lost it. Malloy sweeps to the left for Landon Steffen, and now Roseville will organize its power play, and they're going to lose it there, and they along the far boards is Nate Charlton that time. Got in the way. Now here comes Roseville over the line. Luke Steffen into the circle, peels back. Now here's a one-time shot. Deflected, they score in front of the goal. Boy, that was a nice tip, and Roseville is 2 for 2 on the power play. And that is O'Rourke, I believe. It sure is. Kellen O'Rourke with his 4th goal of the season. And Roseville is 2 for 2 on the power play. .454 is the time. And Kellen O'Rourke deflecting the shot by Villela from the point, and Roseville has the lead, 2-1. Now back comes Roseville down the near wing, and O'Rourke, man of the moment. Now Riley Lackner will play it in deep. So it's Malloy that took the initial shot, 14 instead of 4 according to the officials, and Luke Steffen gets the second assist, but O'Rourke on the power play, and Roseville has a 2-1 lead. Played on out to center ice. Here's Fisher putting it in front, and that's blocked. Malloy will clear it. Back out to center ice. Cretin-Derham Hall's penalty killing, which is probably an area of moderate concern here, is now 0 for 2. And it comes out to center, and here comes Roseville back. Luke Steffen with Landon. He shoots. He scores! Luke Steffen! And Roseville extends its lead to 3-1. Both the Steffens find the back of the net. 16th goal for Luke. And it comes at 5 minutes and 47 seconds, so the 2 goals, Steffen and O'Rourke coming just under a minute apart. And Roseville leads it 3-1. We talked about how the scoring by period has gone. Roseville has been outscored 20-16 in the second period. They'd only allowed 37 goals coming in, but 20 of them, over half their total, came in the second period. So Cretin-Derham Hall, this is their best statistical period, 25-15 overall. But Roseville has both the goals so far, and they lead it now 3-1. And they have the officials congregating in front of the scorers table. Malloy gets the only assist. He's got 2 of those tonight. And Roseville leads it by 2 here on home ice. And here comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Bennett over the line. He feeds it down the wall for Cantwell. Now behind the net, Sam Weber back over. Cantwell centers it, and before it could get to Bennett, it was deflected to the right point. Nate Charlton feeds it. Here's a shot that changes direction and goes wide. Roseville clears around on the wall, and here's Luke Steffen playing it. Landon Steffen down with a glove, and he's in over the line. He puts on the brakes and waits for help. He spins, he centers. Here's Luke Steffen shooting, and that winds up hitting the side of the net. Well, those two work well together. Now behind the net, a centering pass in front, and here's Luke Steffen trying to free up his hands as his stick was tied up by Sam Weber. And it winds up in the right corner behind the net. Landon Steffen for Roseville as they're starting to buzz here. With a 2-goal lead over Cretin-Derham Hall. Now it comes around to the near side, and the Raiders get possession with 10:10 to go. They play it to center ice. Here's Bennett over the Roseville line. He shoots, and a save made by Nelson. By Dylan Keeley, and we'll get a face-off in the Roseville zone with 10:04 to go in the second period. Roseville scored 3 straight. Landon Steffen to end the first period, and now O'Rourke and Luke Steffen here in the second. Now from the face-off, here's Ganetz leaving it. Now Nate Charlton shoots, and there's a glove stop by Keeley, and now a rough ride here as Raiders players wind up looking for a rebound. And I think we are going to get penalties here. And for Roseville, it's going to be Villela, and it'll be Jake Fisher going. For the fracas in front of the goal, and each player with 2 minutes, and for Cretin-Derham Hall, it is Colin Scanlon going. And those penalties don't need to go up on the board because they are coincidental, but I'm grateful they did because that way I know who's in the box. 7 minutes and 3 seconds the time of these penalties. And the referee just reminded them, no, they don't have to go up, and they don't. Face-off coming to the left of the Roseville goal. And it's picked up by Cretin-Derham Hall, played back behind the net. A drop to the left point, and that gets past the defender, Chorlton, and comes back. Let's get the penalties. Okay, so we've got slashing on Villela and roughing on Scanlon at 7:03. Coincidental minors, 9:23 to go in the second period. And it's picked up by Roseville's Cray, and he plays it to the right. Trying to get in is O'Rourke, who has a goal here in the second period. O'Rourke is held off, and the defense saves the day for Cretin-Derham Hall for the moment. Now they'll carry it out to center ice. And over the line, it's Attila Lepai. He cuts to the slot, looking to get the puck to his forehand. It's picked up, and here's Cry trying to break free, but Cernahouse gets back first and wins the puck away. Cry was going to head off on a line change anyway. Cernahouse with fresher legs, and here comes Cretin-Derham Hall over the line, and they'll poke it to the right side. Attila Lepai with it there. And now played out to center, and here is Luke Steffen down the wing. Steffen closing to his backhand. He shoots, and that goes wide. He tried to center it. And nothing doing there. The puck comes out to center ice, and here comes Fisher over the line. He shoots, and he just blazed it over the top of the bar. Hogue turning back, trying to play it down in front as Easton Swift went after it. Now loose along the half wall. Here's Owens. Going to come out from behind the goal line, and it's picked up and cleared past Hogue all the way back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. And icing indicated with 8 minutes and 8 seconds to go. We're past the halfway point of regulation time here from Roseville Arena. Jeff Pappas with you with a call here tonight on the Youth Hockey Hub. It's 3-1 for Roseville. Both the Steffens have scored. Face-off coming to the right. Cernahouse trading swats there with Lackner. Now the puck cleared to the near side boards, and this is Owens in the circle. Cross to the right point. Hogue closing in, and his shot is blocked. Goes to the left corner. And we have a Roseville defender playing a lot of stick there. Lackner now played to the far wall. Owens, and then it's cleared. Here's a race for it, and the goaltender is going to come out and play it, and he fires it off to the corner boards. And just beat the on-rushing forward. Here is Prentice Meyer playing it ahead. It's going to go the length, and that will be icing on Roseville with 7:36 left. As we close in on 10 p.m., a bit of a late game here tonight. It was an 8 o'clock start. It's the last game still going in the state. Andover, as I mentioned earlier, beating Osseo 11-2 today. Woodbury over Mounds View, or excuse me, that's a tie, 4-4. That game played at the TCO. Bennett dismissed, and Somweber will draw for the Raiders. Comes to and back in. Now Dodig is exchanging a shove there as he was hit by Luke Steffen. So the play had come to an end, and he came back shoving. 7.5 to go. And now Luke Steffen, Landon over skates, and here they come. Somweber in over the line. He shoots, and he put it to the stick side. Now in the left corner, banked ahead and to the point, but not out by Colin Heights. Now banked out to center ice. And Dodig had the puck stripped. Here comes Landon Steffen. He's in on the backhand, and then he tried to slide it through, and the goaltender Nelson got a glove on it. Face-off with 7:03 to go. Now it'll be Jesse Gale to take a face-off to the left of the Cretin-Derham Hall goal. Actually, he has been dismissed as the late change there for Roseville. Now picked up and played to the blue line. And finally it comes out to neutral ice and shot back in. And there is a hit thrown by Luke Charlton in against the wall. Now Attilo Lepai. Knocked back to neutral ice. And Gale working hard there for Roseville to try to play it deep, and he does finally. Behind the net, Jovan Fowler played around to the far side, and it's swept back to the boards by Gale, and he's crunched by Lepai in against the boards. And now it comes back out, and here is Lepai over the line, feeding the left for Charlton. And now Scanlon gets knocked off his pins, and now we get a penalty coming on Attila Lepai as Heights went down. As Egan Heiber went down, and now we've got discussion going on here. And Attila Lepai will go to the penalty box for tripping at 10:49. And it's power play number 3. For Roseville, 2 for 2 so far. And Raiders have lost their center here as Fisher was going to take the draw and was tossed. Now playing around on the far side. Bad hop comes out to center ice where Malloy will pick it up for Roseville. And then he, at the last moment, knocks it away from Fisher. And Roseville will start up on its power play. Luke Steffen trying to play it deep, does, and then goes after it. Tripping on Attila Lepai. And now it's dropped back to the left point. Here's Heights closing. Malloy back over to Heights. He winds, he fires, a save, a rebound. Luke Steffen poked it wide. O'Rourke with a swipe at it. And it's underneath the goaltender. And we'll get a stoppage. And a face-off coming up in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone as that power play unit taking it straight to the net. 1:23 to go in the power play. 5:34 left in the second period. Well, they got everybody disentangled in front of the goal. And the officials having a conversation now, too. The referees. And now a word for the Roseville bench. Now face off to the right of Nelson. Face off win for Roseville. Malloy at the right point. And that's Heights in the high slot. Now back over to Malloy. 1:14 in the power play. And behind the net, Landon Steffen poking away at it. And it's under the goaltender. And not frozen somehow. And it's cleared all the way down the ice. Malloy goes back behind the goal. 1 minute to go in the power play. And here comes Roseville. Colin Heights to the left. And it's Landon Steffen over the line. Steffen closing. Swings around behind the net. Still in possession. Drops to Malloy. Back over to Steffen in the circle. Landon Steffen through traffic. Ooh, it was deflected just wide, and Dodig will get there for Cretin-Derham Hall nearly another deflection in front, and now Landon Steffen tries to play to the blue line and does, and O'Rourke will come in to help him. He drop pass, it comes out to center ice, and they have to regroup. Here's Malloy. Rink wides it right back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone, and he picked up there by Aiden Siegfried and shot all the way down the ice. And that should just about do it for this power play. 10 seconds to go as Malloy goes back behind the net. Now to the right side for Hyber as 5 seconds in the penalty. Hyber over the line, and he comes to the circle. He centers it. Oh, and it just missed. The on-rushing Landon Steffen. The power play is over. Cretin-Derham Hall has killed off its first of the night, and it's shot all the way back into their zone with 4 minutes to go in the period. Dodig in the right corner, playing it ahead to center, and now picked up. And here are the Raiders in control. Hyber in the right corner. He flips one high in the air off the glove of Scanlon. And now loose in front of the scorer's bench and played over to the right side. Here comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Fisher. Scanlon behind the net. Scanlon to the circle. He shoots. He hit the post. And, well, you'd rather be lucky than good, but Cretin-Derham Hall's hit 2 of those tonight. Now it comes to the right point. Here's a shot that blazed wide of the goal. Off the stick of Luke Charlton. Now around to the right point. Luke Charlton again. Now in the half boards, Attila Lepai tries to play it by the defender, Meyer, and couldn't. Cantwell holds it. It comes in from the hash mark. 3 minutes to go in the period. Cantwell behind, now drops it to the right point. Luke Charlton over to Ganetz. And his centering pass went behind Cantwell, and he had to come back for it. Cantwell at the right point. He takes the shot, and that's deflected, and the rebound comes up the slot, and it's steered away by Sundin for Roseville, but Cretin-Derham Hall gets it back, and Lepai scores, and no goal! As the goaltender had been interfered with, his stick was knocked away, and we're going to get a discussion here, but Lepai in front scored. The net is dislodged, and the goaltender was without a stick. Now they'll explain this to the Raiders bench, and Matt Fonko, I'm sure, is not at all pleased. I looked back, and the first thing I saw after the puck went in the net was Keeley sort of sprawled over with his stick behind him. .239 to go in the second period. Face off to his left. Now played to the near corner. And they're right in front of us. Oh, Somweber threw a hit there, and that knocked Malloy flat. He gets back up. Now Luke Steffen loses possession at center ice, and the Raiders come back in. Hogue, Bennett looking for Hogue in front, and I want him going wide. Cantwell on the far boards. And now coming in to help out is Bennett as the puck is finally freed up. Bennett, and Somweber had it tipped away from him. Shot from the point by Hogue is saved. Now in the slot area, Lackner turns and plays it to center ice. 1:55 to go in the second period. And it's controlled now by Lackner behind the goal. Banks it over, and Meyer will golf it the length of the ice. And that will be icing on Roseville with 1:44 to go in the second period. Seeing a little gamesmanship here as Lackner heading back to the bench, got stuck in a bunch of Cretin-Derham Hall players as they were changing. All of a sudden his stick winds up on the ice, and he has to come down and pick it up. Face off to the left of Keeley. And it's picked up by the Raiders. Here's Dodig. He shoots, and it's deflected down into the circle on the near side. Here's Owens feeding it back over. Hogue on the right. Dodig at center point. Defender slid. Here's a shot and a save by Keeley. And there he got the defender, Villela, off his feet. He slid around and got around him. and had a decent chance, but Keeley was there to make the save with 1:28 left. Face-off coming up to the right of the goal. And it's a face-off win. Here's Hybert. He reverses up the wall. Dodig holds it in there at the left point, poked away, and then finally down the wall. And Owens tries to center. That's blocked by Meyer. Check that, by Colin Heights. Now Heights has it behind the goal, reverses to the near side, and now here's Hybert. He'll flip one high in the air. Dodig could not play it down with a glove. Here's Fisher playing it ahead for Owens on the left. It doesn't connect. Owens finally catches up to it, and he goes to the corner, watched by Hybert. Banks it off the wall to the left point. Dodig, less than a minute to go in the period, as Dodig takes it down the wall, trying to get past a couple of Roseville players there, as Villela comes in to try to dig it out. Now it's Fisher in the right corner, banks to Dodig at the hash mark, and a drop to the left point. Finds no one there, and Attila Lepai has to come out as they clear the zone. Here's Lepai over the line, plays it. That's a nice move into Fisher, into Owens. He shoots. Oh, and a great stop by Keeley. Just some good skill at the blue line as Lepai started that with a nice piece of stick handling. And Owens wound up with it right in front of the goal, and Keeley took it away from him. 31 seconds to go in the second period. Swift is on for Cretin-Derham Hall against Landon Steffen. Now, they have 5 players on the ice, 5 skaters, and it will cost them their centerman for the delay. Landon Steffen on the draw now, and it's played back to the corner. Malloy banks it ahead, can't get it past Swift. Scanlon lost it, picked up there, and Luke Steffen manages to get it out to center ice. 20 seconds to go in the period now. And it's rink wide in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Hogue has it back over to the near side with 14 to go. Pass up the middle, and here they come. Here's Charlton taking a shot. Stick save made on Charlton and a long pass into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone, and that absolutely has to be interference, and it is, as Simon Hogue at the buzzer just shoved the Roseville player off the puck as he was trying to reach it. He had not yet touched it, which is why it's interference, and it's going to be called. Luke Steffen, the penalty, or the player that was affected, and interference is going to be called here at 17 minutes. And we'll go to the third period with a power play for Roseville, and they'll have a 3-1 lead. We'll take a break and come back after we flood here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Last 17 minutes about to go on the board as we hit the third period here in Roseville. Jeff Pappas with you with a call, and it's a 3-1 lead for Roseville over Cretin-Derham Hall. 2 goals in the second period. Kellen O'Rourke's 4th goal at 4:54. Luke Steffen's 16th goal at 5:47. And we start the third period. Roseville should be on a power play. They called an interference penalty at the 17-minute mark on Simon Hogue, who now is on the bench and shouldn't be. Unless they somehow rescinded that penalty. The penalty boxes are empty. Now the official scorer noticed. And Hogue has to come across and serve his penalty. So it's power play number 4 for Roseville. And it's a 2-minute power play for Roseville, their 4th of the game. 2 for 3 so far, and the third period is underway. Attila Lepai over to Dodig on the left, and he will clear it rink wide back into the Roseville zone, and Malloy goes behind the goal. And here comes Roseville to center ice. And a good move there. Over the line was Heights, and now it's going to be cleared past Malloy and all the way back. Malloy pursued by Attila Lepai behind the goal. The puck comes out to center, and it's played right back in. And it's Malloy going back to the boards on the near side. 1:20 in the power play. 16:21 to go, and now here comes Roseville over the line. That is Landon Steffen, and he is knocked in against the boards by Cernahouse, and now it's controlled by the Raiders over to the far point. Malloy shoots, and a glove save by Nelson, and we got a face-off in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. 59 seconds into the period, so 1:01 to go, still on the power play for Roseville. Came in at 10 for 46 and will leave looking a little healthier thanks to a couple of power play goals tonight. Face off to the left. And now Raiders will lose their centerman. Owens comes out, and it's a win for Roseville. Malloy shoots, and a glove save by Nelson, and a face off coming up. Now the faceoff will move over to the right of the Raiders goaltender. And O'Rourke and Owens on the draw. Owens wins it, and Ganetz clears it around to the far side. Held in there by Landon Steffen, but Owens, then he overskates it. And it comes to the far boards, and Landon Steffen picks it up with players in front. He goes in, and he shot it over the top, and the nets come off as he crashes into the goaltender. And we'll get a face-off. My assumption is that's going to be outside. We'll see if they rule that he was checked into the goaltender, which would keep it inside, and that is evidently what they're saying. Oh, wait a minute now. And the officials are now saying they want it to the left of the Cretin-Derham Hall goal. 43 seconds left in the power play. Loose in the circle and then cleared down with a glove. And here's Landon Steffen shooting. Rebound chance is off the backboards and pushed wide. Now to the near side. Here's Heights feeding it over to the far side. Landon Steffen scores! Another power play goal for Roseville. Landon Steffens is second of the game, 20th of the year. And it comes at 1:32 of the third period. Roseville is 3 for 4 on the power play tonight, and it's a difference in your game right now as a 4-1 lead for Roseville. Now played back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. We'll get the announcement in a moment here, but Landon Steffen with a goal. Now played ahead. Oh, that's a big hit thrown there. Right in front of the bench, and O'Rourke took a pretty stiff shot there from Colin Scanlon. And getting the announcement now. Heights and Malloy getting assists, so that's Malloy's third assist of the night. Now here's Jake Fisher back for Cretin-Derham Hall. Cuts to the slot, goes down, and is picked up behind the net by Roseville. They'll play it to the left boards and now out towards the right point where Siegfried can't hold it in, and now here comes Roseville back. They'll play it in. Charlie Cray after it, and behind the net, Owens out to the near side, and it's controlled by Luke Charlton. Fisher over the line, and Fisher is taken in against the boards, and it's offside anyway, so we'll get a face-off at neutral with 14:22 to play, and Roseville has opened up a 4-1 lead over Cretin-Derham Hall. Now from the draw, it's Landon Steffen. As he falls, he plays it in, and it's going to ring the net. Hogue goes back for it in the left corner. Side steps Luke Steffen. Landon at center ice trying to fight Hogue for it. Now Malloy trying to help out as well. It winds up running rink wide back into the Roseville zone. Heights is in there. Several other purple shirts. The bend of the glass means I can't see all of them. Now played back behind. We're going to get a whistle, and we have a slashing penalty coming up. And it's going to go against Cretin-Derham Hall. Slashing penalty at 3:04. And it's going to go against Hogue. His second penalty. Third penalty of the night. He had gone the entire season without taking one before, but has seen 3 go against him tonight, and it's again a Roseville power play. Malloy feeds the near circle, and a centering pass is picked off by Cernahouse. Now it's Luke Steffen behind the goal. Into the circle. Heights, rink wide pass is picked off by Cernahouse, and here comes Cretin-Derham Hall back. Cernahouse over the line, throws it across, and Scanlon's shot goes wide. Now it's off to the right corner, and it's going to be poked into the circle. A little disorganization here as finally it's Malloy in the left corner of the Roseville zone. 40 seconds gone on the power play. Long pass to Kellen O'Rourke, who's over the line. O'Rourke peels back on the wall, and now they get it, a centering pass in front. And O'Rourke feeds it down low. And Luke Steffen feeds it across. Here's a shot that's blocked, and the Karam is going to come back out to center ice. Halfway through the power play, Luke Steffen spinning there to get away from Fisher. Now he feeds the near side. And Landon Steffen backhands it ahead, and they'll enter the zone that way, but it's picked off by Fisher, and he sends Attila Lepai away. He cuts to the slot. Lepai closing. And still has it. He shoots. They save. They score on the rebound. And I don't know if it was touched again by Fisher. I think it might have been. But it's a shorthanded goal. And it's a lifeline for Cretin-Derham Hall. It's now 4-2. And it is Jake Fisher. th goal. Shorthanded. Comes at 4:25 of the third period, and the lead is cut to 4-2. Fisher now with 2 shorthanded goals this season. And it's the 6th of the year for Cretin-Derham Hall. Still 40 seconds of power play left. And it's picked up. Here comes Cretin-Derham Hall back. Up high over the line. And then it's knocked away to the right of the goal. Heights after it. Now he goes down, and there's going to be a penalty to, well, the net's come off. Excuse me. I thought there was going to be a penalty called there, but there was no infraction. Instead, the Roseville net is off, and we'll get a face-off in their zone with 31 seconds left in the power play. The net still isn't quite right, and the official is over there making sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Now we're ready to resume. And LaPie gets the only assist. Fisher comes in. Here's a shot. LaPie put it wide. Boy, it's been a great penalty kill. Here's a shot, and that is blocked. As sneaking in was Luke Charlton. Now loose at neutral ice, and here's Ganetz. 5 seconds in the penalty, and Cretin-Derham Hall has killed this one off with some authority as it goes behind the goal. Picked up there by Heights, cleared towards the right point. Hogue comes on, and the shot loose in front, off sticks, and it's picked up by Roseville, and they'll flip it in rink wide. Villela as he heads for the bench on a change. Under 12 minutes to go. Banked out to center, and Attila LaPie had it run up his equipment, came down past Charlton. Ganetz chasing after it along with Luke Steffen. Now play it out to center. Malloy throws a bump, wins the puck, drops it back, but it's picked up by Charlton, and Luke Charlton plays it in. Now to the near corner. In the Roseville zone, back behind the net, they'll swing it around. Malloy will get it there, and he lays one forward, looking there for Luke Steffen, couldn't get it to him. Now over the line they come again. Here's a shot over the top as we get a whistle. We're going to get a face-off. Holden Sawmember coming in and taking a shot there. .11:08 to go, and you get the feeling this could be an anxious finish here. And now it's in the slot, and closing in once, twice was Aiden Siegfried, and the rebound is cleared back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. It won't go far enough for icing. Dodig behind the net. Comes around the near side, and he banks it ahead on the wall. He'll pick it up at center as he got the lead pass from Bennett. Now they gain the zone. It's Cantwell in the corner. Lays it across to Cernahouse. He flattens it, fires. It's loose and winds up on the sideboards. Now back into the right corner. Roseville's Hyber with it. He tries to clear. It's going to run towards the line. Picked up there by Dodig, and he takes a shot. Blocker saved by Keeley. And it's now loose behind the net. Finally to the left point, and it gets past Dodig and comes back out. Raiders have to clear the zone. Of course, both teams are nicknamed Raiders here, so I'm taking it, if you're watching it, you know which one I'm talking about. As the puck comes around to the near side, and Landon Steffen relays it back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Hogue has it with 10:05 to go. Now Hogue starts up the middle, feeds the left wing. And it's carried on in by Chuck Owens. Owens going in, comes around, tries to wrap it around, and then lost the puck. Now it's around on the near side boards. Raiders trying to slow it up there. Now they do get the puck to the blue line and out to center finally, where Cernahouse turns it back. Fisher over the line. He takes a shot, and it's deflected out of play. So Jake Fisher looking for his third goal of the night for a hat trick. As we're down to 9:36 to go. And now O'Rourke has been dismissed from the face-off for Roseville, and they win the draw anyway as Hyber had declared around, came to the point. Here is a shot by Ganetz that goes wide. Now Luke Charlton crashing in. He feeds it over to the circle. Here's a drive, and it's right on, and a save made off Attila LaPie's stick. Face-off coming up to the left of Keeley, who has made or had made, I should say. 29 saves on 30 shots coming into the second period. Each team has scored once here in the third, and it's 4-2 with just over 9 minutes left. LaPie falls. Puck comes in front. Fisher wires one, and that one goes wide. And now played deep into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone. Luke Charlton with it. Feeds it over to the left for Hogue. With 9 minutes to go. Here he comes. He's over the line. He takes a shot, and he whistles it wide. Comes up the boards and finally played back out to center. Raiders clear the zone. And now Cretin-Derham Hall back. Here's Fisher over the line. He works to his left. Fisher against Malloy. Takes the shot. Stick save by Keeley off to the near boards. And now Roseville will play it to center ice and leave it in the center circle. Fisher has it there. And they're just lining up along the blue line now. Roseville is with that 2-goal advantage. And it's picked up finally and carried in by Easton Swift into the circle. Swift left a drop pass, left in the circle. And now it's batted down at the blue line by Cantwell. And now fed to the right corner. And Hyber tries to clear. And it's going to come to the point. And finally it's going to be flipped up in the air and back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone with just over 8 minutes to go. So another rush has been weathered. Here they come over the line. And a centering pass, and all tied up in front. There's going to be a power play here for Cretin-Derham Hall, as we're going to get a holding penalty in front of the net. Really no other call to make there. And the Raiders get a power play for the second time in the game. Interference is the call, and it's going to go against Riley Lackner. Time of the penalty, 9 minutes and 1 second. Cretin-Derham Hall 0 for 1 on its power play. But with a chance to make it real interesting if they can score a power play goal here. Now, Raiders set up their power play. This is Fisher wheeling and now dropping it back to Hogue. High in the slot, back to Fisher in the circle. In front, a score! LaPie! There's your power play goal, and it's now 4-3. And Attila LaPie scoring his 10th goal in the slot area. 9:14 is the time. We have had 4 specialty team goals here tonight. I take that back. We've had 5. We had a shorthanded goal for Cretin-Derham Hall, but 4 power play goals in the game tonight. And it's now a 1-goal game with 7:40 to go. Cernahouse to Hogue, back to Cernahouse. Over the line, he plays it into the Roseville zone. Hogue and Fisher get assists on the goal from Attila LaPie, his 10th on the power play at 9:14, and here they come again. Over the line, LaPie shoot, he scores! And the game is tied! 2 goals on the same shift, and this game is level at 4. Time of the goal, 9:43, so he scores twice in 29 seconds, and Cretin-Derham Hall has tied it at 4. Now, we'll see how Roseville reacts to this, as they have been dominated here. Fisher back with a shot, and that is deflected and broke his stick. Now it's in the circle, played out to neutral ice, and then down with a glove. And Roseville defending frantically here as Owens takes a shot. Pad saved by Keeley. Now throws it across, and here they come again. LaPie shooting again, and a save made by Dylan Keeley. They got a face-off coming up in the Raiders zone with 6:43 left. Cernahouse getting an assist. And he's, just about. Looked like they'd scored off the faceoff. And Cernahouse and Owens get assists, and now Cretin-Derham Hall all over Roseville. They come in, centering pass, winds up going through to the far side. And in the right corner, Hyber will pick it up. Plays to the point, held in. Now a pass across is knocked down out of the air, and it's going to make Cretin-Derham Hall come back for it. Now it's played ahead by Scanlon and into the zone to the left of the goal, and Keeley will get a glove on it with 6:14 left. LaPie's 10th at 9:14 is 11th at 9:43. Face-off coming to the left of Keeley, who has seen an awful lot of rubber here in the last 10 minutes or so. Raiders have scored 3 goals in this period. Puck is down, and it's played around on the far side. Here's Villela trying to play it out down the wall, and finally out to center ice. Cretin-Derham Hall in control. And Luke Charlton plays to the left. Now played rink wide into the Roseville zone. Sharp angled centering pass, winds up knocked to the far sideboards, and LaPie is after it again. Now it's picked up and cleared out to center ice. And Roseville will chip it on into the zone. After it there is Ganetz, and he goes behind the goal as Kellen O'Rourke peels off. Now pass up the middle, and here's Fisher. He's over the line. Fisher 1 against 4. He takes the shot, and it winds up going off the glass and out towards the right point where Cretin-Derham Hall is still in possession, and that's a neat little move there by LaPie. He's shown he's got some stick handling skills. He's also scored a couple of goals here in the third period. Now it's played back to the left point. Here's a shot that is deflected in front of the net. And in the circle, a shot winds up going over the top from Fisher. 5:08 to go in regulation time here in the third period on a 4-4 tie. Now here's a shot that is deflected from Luke Charlton over the glass and out of play. So the Raiders come back stoutly here with 3 goals in a span of 5 minutes and 18 seconds in the third period to turn a 4-1 deficit into a 4-4 free-for-all. Now loose, and Cantwell goes after it, can't reach it. And now it's flipped to center ice. Cernahouse plays it down with a glove, and now it's going to be picked up there by Landon Steffen. Now Luke Steffen couldn't tip it. It comes right on. Actually goes wide of the goal. And that'll be icing on Roseville. 4:45 left. Scott Steffen and his team have weathered quite a storm here to this point in the third period. And the game on the knife's edge now. It's controlled by Nate Charlton. Well, behind the net, and it's going to be cleared to center ice. And here comes Roseville, Landon Steffen. And they're in over the line. Puck comes to the near boards. It's 1 against 3. Now Luke Steffen in to help out. Hogue takes a bump behind the net. Malloy shoots. Stick save there by Nelson, and it winds up in the right corner. Long pass to center ice is going to go the length, and that'll be icing on Cretin-Derham Hall. We'll come back for a face-off with 4:18 left in the third period. All right, ready to get back to it here as O'Rourke comes on for this faceoff. And the Raiders win it. Roseville, here's a shot that's deflected off the stick of Prentice Meyer. And it goes out of play, so we'll try this again. Face-off to the right of Nelson. And again, a face-off win. And Meyer again through traffic. That's blocked. Played up the middle, and it's too far for LaPie. It's going to go the length of the ice. And it's an icing call, but not a bad idea. He's got the hot hand. Might as well try and hit a flyer there. And he gave it a good chase, but was not able to track it down. Down to 4:04 left now. Fisher and O'Rourke. And the puck is cleared. That's going to come all the way back. Meyer is after it, and that will be icing. Ready to go again. Same centerman. And now they're both going to be dismissed. Landon Steffen on the draw against Owens as the two 11s go at it. And Landon Steffen sweeps one rink wide in the Cretin-Derham Hall zone, picked up there and played by Siegfried behind the goal. Dodig has it. And a pass to the left. And here comes Eden Siegfried over the line. 3.5 minutes to go. Siegfried is around behind the net, tries to wrap it around, and it's kept out by Keeley with a pad against his left post. And that took another 20 seconds or so off the clock. 3:31 to go. Face off to the left of Keeley, and it's chopped over the top from the draw. Valella goes after it, plays it around behind on the near side. Landon Steffen can't get to it. Here's a pass topped, and it comes out to center ice. And Lepai is circling there, trying to shake off the Roseville forecheck. Now it's flipped high in the air, picked up by Siegfried and fed over with 3:08 to go. And they tried to flip it in and wound up going off the rafters and down. That's out of play, and it's going to be a face-off at center ice. 3:04 left. Now from the draw, that's controlled by Cretin-Derham Hall, but poked in the center circle, and now they'll break over the line. Malloy plays it off to the left. Landon Steffen can't get to it. Malloy with a two-handed swipe along the boards. And now it's played back into the Roseville end. Hyber going after it, and his D-to-D pass worked out. Pass up the middle. Here's Steffen over the line, and he is offside. Was in just a hair too early when the puck entered the zone. By the time he finally caught up with it, he put himself offside. Face off at neutral ice with 2:41 left. Here's Cernahouse for Cretin-Derham Hall. Rink wide on the far side, and he gets it back on a return from Hogue. Cernahouse at center plays it, and it's into the Roseville end, laying on the blue line, now picked up. And finally, the Roseville Raiders gain possession and feed the center circle. Nate Charlton having trouble, now picked off there by Heights, and then played ahead for Malloy, but he doesn't latch onto it, and over the line comes Nate Charlton. He goes in, and then he is knocked in against the boards. Puck centered, and it's played behind the goal. 2:07 to go in the third period, and here's Heights with it. And he will bank it ahead. And now it's stolen away down low. A centering pass in front of the net. They score with 1:57 to go. It is Simon Hogue with a goal, and Cretin-Derham Hall has come all the way back. And they lead it 5-4. Or maybe they don't. There's referee's discussion here, and I don't know. No, they're taking the goal off the board. I would expect an explanation for it, but I don't know. It's the second goal they've had waved off. And we're going to get a bench minor against the Cretin-Derham Hall bench. An unsportsmanlike, or is that a timeout? He called a T. No, we are not. It is just going to be the timeout. It's the same symbol. You've seen the basketball officials use it for the technical, but there it's the timeout. With 1:57 to go, Cretin-Derham Hall takes his timeout. They've had 2 goals disallowed tonight. They've hit 2 goalposts. And it's a 4-4 game again with 1:57 to go, but Hogue had put it into the net. The only thing I could figure was that there was some form of goaltender interference there, or the net was off, because there was a scramble around the goal, and some pretty passionate fans over here now debating the reasons for the goal. It turns out, from what I understand, that the goal was off at the time. So if the goal is off its magnets, the official has no choice but to disallow it. $1:57 to go. Raiders finish their timeout, and the faceoff will come out at neutral ice. And it's controlled by Hogue to Cernahouse on the near side, and they come right back in over the line. Into the circle. Now back into the left corner with less than 2 minutes to play in regulation. Play to the right point and down by Cernahouse. Forecheck gets to him. And they're able to swat it back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone, and Hogue will chase after it. Icing is called. With 1:37 left. Owens is going to draw Fisher, the trigger man for Cretin-Derham Hall here. 1:37 to go. He's got the puck, and a shot is grabbed by Keeley. So they'll line up and do it again. Owens looking to pull the puck back to Jake Fisher at the top of the circle to the goaltender's left. And now it's fed over to the left point. Cernahouse plays it down with 1:29 to go. Now loose behind the goal. Owens is in there. Fisher in front looking for some service as the puck comes to the left point, and it's picked up there. Hogue over to Cernahouse on the right. He closes. He shoots. It's headed wide. It goes behind the net with 1:10 to go. Now behind the goal, it's picked up and iced, and that will mean a face-off with 1:05 to go in regulation time. Roseville built a 4-1 lead early in the period on a power play goal by Landon Steffen at 1:32, but since then, Cretin-Derham Hall has scored 3 to get it tied up. Face-off to the right of Keeley. And it's picked up and played out to center where Dodig has it. Last minute of play in the third period, and over the line. Here's Fisher on his backhand, comes around to the near side, feeds the left point for Dodig, and it's going to dribble to the blue line, and it's held in there. Now finally it does come out, and Cretin-Derham Hall has to readjust. And it's played to the near side, stick back to the red line. Played in and finally picked up by Landon Steffen, who's got it on the left side. His long pass to center ice is cut out by Ganetz. And Owens carries it in with 30 seconds to go. Owens leaves a drop pass and a shot right on by Fisher, and Keeley makes the save. 28 seconds to go. If there's overtime, we'll have a 3-minute break followed by an 8-minute extra session as we get to 11 o'clock. I've called a hockey game at 11 o'clock before. At least not p.m. Face off to the left of Keeley. It's loose in the circle. Now fed to Hogue at the right point, and now he plays it down behind the net. It'll ring the boards. Malloy after it on the far side. Fisher steers him in against the wall. Luke Steffen is in there with 11 seconds to go, and we get a whistle. a frozen puck. Face-off coming up to the right of the Roseville goal. Now played down to the right corner and Hyber after it. 7 seconds to go. He's just trying to keep it safe there in the corner. And now behind the net, a centering pass comes all the way back as the buzzer goes, and we have bonus hockey. And our score after 3 periods is 4-4. So we'll take a break and come back in 3 minutes with extra hockey here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Back at Roseville Arena, teams change ends. So they will attack toward their benches as they did in the second period when Roseville scored 2 of their goals. Fisher and Luke Steffen will take the face-off. 8 minutes on the board. Overtime is underway. And here's Cretin-Derham Hall in possession. They'll play it up the middle. It comes into the zone. And now controlled by Hyber, and he plays it over the leaping Malloy. And now here's Luke Steffen. He's in over the line. He takes the shot. It's loose in front. Landon Steffen looking at it backhanded and unable to get to it was Malloy finally. Now Malloy plays it to Luke Steffen, but it's stopped short. Now here comes Cretin-Derham Hall. Centering pass for Hogue. Throws it across for Owens. Oh, it went off the goaltender and dribbled just wide. Now Heights at center for Roseville plays it ahead, and now it's knocked back deep into the zone. First 40 seconds, we nearly had a winner, and now here comes Cretin-Derham Hall back. Fisher fires right on, and Keeley makes the stop. They had not announced the shots after 3 periods. My guess is Keeley has seen at or above 50 right now. There we go. It was 19-5 in the third period, so the shot's 49-25 after 3 periods. So that was the 50th shot. How do you like that? Now, along the far boards, they're trying to find a way in front, and Scanlon plays it down the wall. Behind the net, swings around, centers it, it's blocked. And it's picked up and cleared, and we have the net off again. Draw will come to the right of Keeley. And both teams will get changes here. O'Rourke facing off against Owens. And it comes to the near side, and Cernahouse pokes it behind the net. After it there is Heights. And he plays it, and that's going to be icing. As it skitters just wide of the net and will come all the way back. 6:41 left now in the overtime. And it's going to be Owens and O'Rourke again. And it's played into the corner and around on the near side. Cernahouse trying to hold it in and did. Here's Attila Lepai coming across the top of the slot to the far boards. Lepai, Hogan had helped him. He tried a saucer pass and it got over the defender's stick and comes all the way back. 6:20 to go. And now here's Lepai ducking in over the line but lost the puck. Has to come back out to center ice. Lepai again dropping it back. Hogue shooting it in. And it's picked up and turned around by Meyer, who puts it all the way down the ice. No icing as they rule that Hogue could have played it at the left point. 6 minutes to go. Long pass for Fisher. That'll be icing on Cretin-Derham Hall. So we'll go back for the faceoff in the Raiders' end. And again, as I mentioned, I know both teams are nicknamed Raiders, so you have to bear with me there for a little bit as we get ready to drop the puck again. Puck is down and now played out to center, and a bouncing puck comes into the zone, picked up by Owens, tries a toe drag and is dispossessed by Meyer. Long pass ahead for Luke Steffen, and he couldn't get it to him. Now it's played around behind the net to the far side, and Lepai has it there. A long pass to Owens at center ice, and then he comes back into his zone. Raiders work it around, and a long pass tipped in, no icing, and going back for it. Played up the wall past Malloy, and now controlled by Luke Steffen, and he's trying to battle Scanlon for it. Now it's back into the Cretin-Derham Hall zone with just over 5 minutes left now, and here they come. Over the line, Fisher. Denied by Malloy. Plays it around behind the net. Nate Charlton looking to center it. He does. It's picked off by Luke Steffen in front of the net, but now they get it back. Here's a shot by Charlton. Blocked. Follow up, and that's blocked. And now here comes Roseville back. Steffen playing it over the line for Meyer as they try to counterpunch. They're getting a change, though. And now it comes to the right point, and it's played back down deep where Cantwell will control for Cretin-Derham Hall. Now behind the net, long pass up the near wing is picked up by Nate Charlton, and then that's stripped away by Villela in the center circle, and it makes him regroup. Now knocked high off the glass by Heights. Here's a race for it, and it's Villela closing in. He fires. Oh, and he put it just wide. Now it's played back to center ice and then shot back by Hyber into the zone. Chasing after it now is Sundin for Roseville. with just over 4 minutes to go as the overtime, I should say, is half done. That's what I meant to say. Now here's Hogue. Check that. Swift behind the net. Taken out by the other number 9, Hyber. And he plays it ahead. Landon Steffen trying to play it around Cernahouse and can't. 3:45 to go. And Cernahouse has it. Long pass up the right for Fisher. Watch there by Heights. Fisher, and then his pass was deflected out to center, and here's a chance. Landon Steffen has a breakaway. He shoots. Oh, he put it just wide. I wondered if that had gone in the net. The defender had slammed his stick on the ice. Cernahouse as if he had tipped it in. Now 3.5 to go. And here's Roseville getting some time in the zone. Lackner fires, save, rebound. Oh, what a great stop in front by Nelson. Here's a chance from the right point by, that would have been Lackner, now played into the zone, and boy, great chances. And now they come back. Here's Luke Steffen. He throws it across. And both Steffens have had good opportunities here. 2:50 to go in overtime. Here comes Roseville. It's Lackner over the line. Lackner leaves a drop pass. Shot by Steffen, and that goes over the top. Long carom, and O'Rourke can't get to it, but it's picked up by Hogue. And now a long pass to center ice. Here's Attila Lepai. He's over the line, and he is dispossessed by Lackner. Long pass ahead, and it's Luke Steffen. He's going to get off the ice now with 2:29 to go. He's got to be exhausted. Long pass. Scanlon tips it into the Roseville end, and chasing after it is Owens. He gets to the corner, working there on Heights. Feeds it up the wall. Scanlon has it there. Rink-wide pass to the far side. Here's a shot, stick save. And it's loose to the circle and finally cleared back past the defender, Trey Ganetz. And it's not icing. Didn't go far enough. 2 minutes to go in a 4-4 tie. Now at center, Sundin breaks up a play with his skates. And now it's going to be iced by Roseville with 1:48 to go in a 4-4 tie. Boy, what a game this has been. And we'll take a draw to the left of Dylan Keeley. Luke Steffen will face off, and now Landon comes in for a word, and they're going to switch. Drawing against Owens. And it's played to the right point. Hogue. Malloy will chip it out to center, and Cretin-Derham Hall has to clear the zone. Now here is Owens. 1:38 to go. The near side, Cernahouse backhands it into the zone, and it winds up behind the net. And it's picked up there by Heights. Plays it up the wall. It's picked off. And Fisher high on the slot. Over to Hogue. Diagonal pass in front. Backhanded shot by Owens. And it's loose in front and finally swept away on a desperation dive by Malloy. Now loose to the near boards. And Luke Steffen will flip that one over Hogue. Landon Steffen trying to get onto it, but he's got no gas in the tank. And here comes Cretin-Derham Hall back. Lepai over the line, takes a shot. Last minute of play. Now the puck is cleared around, and Cretin-Derham Hall is going to hold the zone off the bench, and it's picked up there. And we are going to get a penalty, a slashing penalty in the last minute of overtime. And it will put Cretin-Derham Hall on the power play for the third time. As heading to the box is Landon Steffen. And it is at 7 minutes and 7 seconds of overtime. Power play number 3 for Cretin-Derham Hall. And a face-off again to the left of Keeley. So 50 seconds to kill for a tie here for Roseville. And it's picked up by Fisher. High in the slot, Hogue. Now to the left point to Fisher. Winds, fires, deflected wide. Cernahouse after it. He goes behind the net, and this is Colin Scanlon. Topped his pass, comes to the corner, gets it back, and he's working there against Lackner. And here's Fisher with 25 seconds to go. High in the slot, Hogue. Feeding it over to the far side, gets it back on a return. Now Fisher, top of the right circle, fires. That's blocked by the diving Lackner, and it comes out. 14 seconds to go. Now played ahead, and here come the Cretin-Derham Hall Raiders. Fisher in the circle, leaves a drop pass. Hogue shoots, and it's snared out of the air by Keeley. Oh, that wasn't any good, was it? My goodness. Everything on the line. Fisher comes in and wires one. And Keeley makes the stop. 5 seconds to play. From the draw, it's controlled by Lackner. He takes it to the corner, and he's going to pin it to the boards, and that's where the game will end. We play to a tie. 4-4. A terrific hockey game tonight. No two ways about it. And the Raiders have a good deal of congratulation for Dylan Keeley, who came into this game. The goals against average over 4, and he played a terrific game tonight against a Cretin-Derham Hall team that got stronger as the night went on. And this game is a tie. 4-4, the final score. Jeff Pappas saying thank you so much for watching here from Roseville tonight.